y'all? Another little episode of Dre's Crates. Just got a quick history video for you on a group that was sampled. Uh, Let me explain it a little better. There has been artists that has been sampled a lot in hip hop, right? So we know James Brown with the funky drummer, and then we have Bob James. Bob James with Nautilus and Take Me to the Mardi Gras, right? Been sampled a lot, as well as other stuff from him and James Brown, other stuff, James Brown's little screams and stuff like that, and other songs. So this one group I'm talking about today comes from Brooklyn, New York, and the unique thing about them is they were sampled a lot, but just not one particular song. Their first album had the most songs sampled of any artist that was ever sampled. All right? And their name is BT Express. It's the Brooklyn Transit Express. Their first album was Do It Till You Satisfy, right? Now, there's 9 tracks on this album, but here's the thing. 7 of the tracks were sampled. 7 of them, right? So this is some hip hop history for the younger kids that don't know, or the younger, I shouldn't say kids, I'll say the younger generation that doesn't know. And even some of us old heads might not have known this, or, we've heard it but didn't really pay any attention to it. But that one album, yes, there were 9 tracks on the album, and 7 of them have been sampled multiple times. So that's what this video is about. So once again, it's BT Express, and the name of the album was Do It Till You Satisfy. So it's 7 songs that were sampled, and they were Do It Till You Satisfy, which was the hit record, and Dr. Dre sampled that, by the way. It was, the next song is If It Don't Turn You On. Another track was Everything Good to You. Another track was Do You Like It? Another track was Once You Get It. And then the song Express, which was like one of my favorite songs from that album. It had the little whistle, the sounds of like a train, or the train, how it blows. I call it a whistle, but the train horn or whatever it was, the doo-doo, had that in it. It was dope. Now check it. And one more song. This House is Smoking. So that's 7 songs. It was Do It Till You Satisfy, If It Don't Turn You On, number 2. Number 3 was Everything Good to You. Number 4 was Do You Like It? Number 5 was Once You Get It. Number 6 was Express. And then number 7 was This House is Smoking. Now, the song Express, if you're a funk child like me, the group, the JBs, I love the JBs. That's my group, man. They had a song called the JBs Monorail, which was like their interpretation of BT Express's Express, the Express song, right? That stuff is just funky, and that has been sampled multiple times. So just to let you know the influence that this album had, not just on hip hop, but at that time, other groups, because it was just so big. So more history is that the producer of the album was Jeff Lane. Jeff Lane was also the producer for Brass Construction, another one of my favorite groups. Almost in my top 5, I would say, or top 10. Let me rephrase that, because so many of the funk groups. But yeah, I play a lot of their stuff. Randy Muller is the producer, along with Jeff Lane, of Brass Construction. But Randy Muller was the head guy of the group, and he did all the writing and most of the production. The sound was like his sound. So, and he as well as some other horn players were on the BT Express album, Do It Till You Satisfy. Now, the thing with Randy Muller was that he started another group called Sky, right? That was his thing that he put together. It was 3 ladies, and they sung. They had hits, Here's to You. They had another big hit in 1982, which was Call Me If you need someone to talk to. That was a big hit. And they had a song called High, amongst other songs, right? So that was Randy Muller's project, Sky. And you spell that Skyy. So they're from New York as well. So you got Sky, BT Express, and Brass Construction. But Brass, oh man, those my dudes. And I had a chance to get to see them here in Syracuse, New York in 2001. They were here along with Sky. And I'm gonna tell you, when you go to see a concert, a lot of times you go to see your favorite artist, and they perform your favorite songs, but it seems like they always put a twist, a spin on it. And I understand that it's live, but it's when Brass was here and they performed, it was mind blowing because when they performed, it sounded just like the record. They didn't put too much of a spin on anything. I mean, it literally sounded like the record. And I love their drummer. I believe his name is Larry Payton. And man, I was just like watching it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just mind blowing to see, one of your favorite funk bands and they're putting it down like originally, almost like they were in the studio, redoing it like it was a different take or something. They was just, just it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. So I got to see them in Sky. Sky rock too. They rock, and those girls looked it great. There's three sisters that were the lead singers in Sky. So just a little hip hop history. Another sample that was another record that was sampled a lot would be the Winston Brothers. Amen. I meant to put that in when I was talking about James Brown and Bob James. So those three artists were sampled probably the most as far as songs. But BT Express is the one album that was sampled in hip hop that had the most songs sampled from an album. One album. So just a little hip hop history. So y'all can check that out. It's on YouTube. For those that just want to check out the samples, the information is also on who sampled. Just so you know. Now me, because I'm a funk fan and record freak, I've been searching and digging for samples for years before the internet was even popping like that. I already knew that because I kept hearing it and different songs. I was like, oh, that's BT Express. Oh, that's BT Express. Oh, that's BT Express. Like, man, how many songs they gonna sample from this album? So I knew that way before any of this was even like knowledge on the internet. But for those, the younger generation, like I said, this is for y'all, and like even some of the older people that didn't know. So I'm gonna close this video out with that right there. Check out BT Express. Do It Till You Satisfy is the name of the album. It's dope. And you might even find something on there or take a piece that nobody else sampled from that album, right? On one of the songs. All right. Well, I'm out of here. This is Dretronix for Dre's Crates. Peace.